Shall we talk about Viktor Gyökeres? What an up-and-down season it's been for him. Here's just a look at some of the stats of the year for him. 5 goals in 11 matches in the Champions League. Doesn't sound so bad, does it? 3 goals in 173 minutes overall against Atletico Madrid. How do you rate Gyökeres, Troy, when you think about him with Arsenal so far?
Exactly what I thought from the start. He's been okay.
Enough for a Champions League winning team?
Not in my opinion, no. Not for a Premier League winning team as well. Like, I think you'd struggle to put him in the top 5 strikers in world football. I think everyone would agree with that, right?
Top 5?
Top 5. You'd struggle to put him in that.
No way. I don't think he even sniffs there.
And I think if you're talking about winning the Premier League and winning the Champions League, you normally have a top 5 striker in that situation. So,
do you ever really see a team that wins the Premier League or the Champions League or both without a striker that is
exactly
dominating the football
I think,
world?
but then weirdly, I think he's done okay. I think because what he's done is exactly what I was saying at the start of the season when all Arsenal fans were killing me. This is what I expected of him. I don't expect him to score open play goals against the biggest teams. I don't. I expect him to score a few goals against Leeds, a few goals against West Ham, penalties here and there.
But the money that they brought him in for doesn't indicate that they had that in mind, right?
No, again, it's the argument. Sorry, Nigel. The argument is the money kind of irrelevant. Man United bought in Šeško, so if you're comparing the money, he's world class compared to Šeško. Do you get what I mean? If you're comparing the money side of it, I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. And I don't think if you offered him to everybody in world football now that any of the big clubs will be going, yes, we'll take him. Remember as well, when I'm saying all this, it's not a negative on him. Arsenal signed 7 more players before they signed him this year. So if he was their #1 target, they're going to get him. But they got backup goalkeeper, Zubamendi, they got Madueke. They bought in all these different players, then they got him. So that doesn't give you the confidence that that's the person. And so, final bit, biggest game of the season, them against Man City, right? Where was Viktor Gyökeres? On the bench. So this is not my opinion. These are factual things that you've seen. I just seen it coming a little bit earlier than most people.
It's twofold. Arsenal play very negative football. Like we said, they haven't dominated a game. Even today, they play a very low block from the first minutes of the game. It would be nice to see them once just go take the hand off the break and go and play the game because they have some incredible players and some incredible talent. But you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that was actually being honest with themselves and saying he's a convincing striker, he's the answer, he's a top 5. No way. No way. I mean,
he was at Sporting, wasn't he?
So was Luis Suarez this year. Who's willing to get him? It's
very average, I think, if you watch his performance overall.
And this is the thing as well. Again, you guys have probably been in this situation where you play against somebody, like he was at Coventry when I played against him. And he had an unbelievable season. It never made me want to go, oh, he's good. Like, that never happened. It was always having one of those moments. This will be nice. Let's see how he goes. He goes to Sporting. Obviously, he does fantastically well at Sporting. But we've seen people go into Portugal and do fantastically well. Luis Suarez this season has been unbelievable. Darwin Núñez a few seasons ago was unbelievable. It doesn't translate. It doesn't translate all the time into being a top striker. And unfortunately, he's trying to get into a world of very few people. So what it feels like you're being negative.
He's average by world-class standards.
Yes,
he's average.
But he's good. And he's doing okay.
The frustrating thing for him is, and we've got obviously people out there, obviously one thing that people will focus on is how much Arsenal paid for him. And the sad thing is for him, he does not dictate that. That's one thing about players. Whenever these players get these moves and stuff, the players do not dictate that. That's the business side of football.
They are aware of the standards that the money dictates.
Yeah, because the money will put more of a big magnifying glass on them because, you went for this amount, there's a high expectation for you. Again, that's not on him.
No,
I only got what I see on the pitch. No, but my thing is, I've got a question for you. And Grella, you guys played as strikers. What is the most frustrating
I don't think Grella was a striker. You keep putting him in this category. You wasn't a striker.
He classifies himself. Look at him.
He's more of a 10.
He's a smug little thing. He classifies himself as a striker. What is the most...
Between the lines.
Yeah, in between. What's the most frustrating thing you see from him from an attacking standpoint, then, would you say?
I don't think his hold-up play is very good. I also think his first touch is what I would call baggy. I think he normally takes a touch and he's chasing it. And then a lot of the time, maybe this is the setup and the system of Arsenal, to your point, but he's running outwardly. He's never really running towards the goal. All the runs he makes are towards like the corner flag, and Yeah, look, but he's a goal scorer, and when you score goals, it changes people's opinion. And you know, how many times have we sat and had the conversation about Haaland? Oh, we had 5 touches today, he had 8 touches today. But if Haaland scores 4 and he had 12 touches, it was he's the best in the world. So I just think it's difficult. I think the biggest, not a compliment, the biggest compliment I could give him is he's done well for his abilities. But if we're talking that world level, that top level, where he should be at, if you're at a club that's top of the Premier League and unbeaten in the Champions League, there's a lot more of his game that he needs to improve.
So you saying he just isn't really it for Arsenal, maybe even next season, if they're going to be...
I said it at the start of the season, and it's been played out this way. Arsenal said they didn't have a striker last year, right? So they've got Gyökeres this year, they've got Havertz, and they've got Jesus. I said at the start of the season, for Arteta and the way he wants to play, in all the big games, Havertz would start. If Havertz was fit tonight, Havertz starts the game. Yeah. And that, unfortunately, is just how it is. And that's how it's played out.